Hello, guys, and welcome to another episode of F3 Filmmaker Feature Fridays, where we champion the telling of authentic Jamaican Caribbean stories locally, regionally, globally, and we provide a platform to celebrate our local filmmakers who are making splashes and waves and doing really great work, whether it be locally, regionally, or internationally. And today we have a super special guest. Welcome Shawneil Bailey Gordon, and the crowd goes wild.
Thank you for having me, Natasha.
Thank you for saying yes, Shawneil. Your yes meant a lot to me.
I
So
appreciate
thank you
that.
so much. So Shawneil, you are a big deal, right? You buy along from us, so like go River Nile. But just a couple stuff. So you are the proud founder and CEO of Zarabelle Limited, which is
That's
a
right.
talent and production support agency operating out of Jamaica.
That's
And
right.
you started that business at 18
18
years
years,
old.
that's right.
Girl, at 18, I'm wondering, oh, what I eating for breakfast, and you starting business. Girl, I'm proud of you.
Thank you.
I'm
Thank
super
you.
proud of you. I also know you primarily through because of the fact that you are a member of the board of
for JAFTA.
JAFTA, Jamaica Film and Television Association. If y'all
Sign
don't
up.
know that already, yes, please. Find their website and sign up. And wow, you've also gotten a Prime Minister's Youth Award. She had enough things. She is a big deal. And you've been working in the TV and film industry as a casting manager director for just over a decade. And you've worked with not only big brands locally, you've gone abroad. Your name gone abroad, and I see places like Sesame Street and Bob Marley and thing. Girl, this is what I mean when I say you're making waves, and
Thank you.
I'm super excited to have you. And doubly because sometimes when we think about filmmaking, because the podcast is featuring filmmakers.
That's
But when
true.
we think about filmmaking and filmmaker, we often think about people who are above the line. So your directors, your writers, your DP, your producers. And if you ever sit down and watch a movie till the end and sit down through the credits, you realize, say,
Millions.
millions of people.
Accountant.
Enough people go into this process.
Yeah.
And so I think you are still very close to, you're very integral to the process because you
need
you need the
actors for
talent.
the thing to happen.
You need the
And
talent.
craft services.
And don't forget craft services because you have to feed people.
Okay.
Yes. So talent / casting management or agency. Tell us what really is your role as the head of Zarabelle and in your daily activities or your daily work of casting or providing talent.
Sure. Okay. First of all, once again, thanks for having me.
You're welcome.
So as you would have mentioned, so I do talent management, and I'd like to niche down even further to say I do commercial actor. I provide commercial actors for brand campaigns, and then I also do that for TV shows as well as for film. So a day in my life really on set is that I'm ensuring that the characters that the client has created in their mind for their brand, for their TV show, I am identifying those persons and I'm matching those people to that story. So that's really what I do. I'm really kind of like the people person. I'm matching people, I'm reading people's vibe, I'm connecting people to projects, stuff like that. So that's primarily what I do. And then I also do craft services, which is the light in between beverages and snacks that you get on set, which we don't think about. Then we think about it when we're thirsty.
When we're hungry.
And when we're hungry, okay. So I also do that as well for production. So I like to support. I like to be there. I like to say that I like to be there for the crew and the talent. So that's kind of what we do.
Awesome. So we're going to go into our next segment. And now for Act 2, fun and games. You ready, Shawneil?
Ready.
All right, great. So I'm going to give you 4 shot sizes or 4 shot types. You choose one. Each one essentially is a question.
Okay.
Right? So your choices are the close-up.
That's my favorite already.
I imagine that. The medium.
Okay.
The wide shot. And what we call a Dutch angle. You know that tilt one? What goes on?
Okay.
They kind of disorient people and them something. That one there. So what's your first choice?
Dutch.
Ah! Look at you. Adventurous are we? All right, so there was a story about a company that kind of pirated the likeness of Scarlett Johansson and used AI to generate her image and use it in something. And so there's this ongoing conversation about the role of AI in art, in film, in entertainment, in everything. Zine, what do you see, or what do you think what role rather AI will play in casting for film and television in the future, near future, far future? What do you think that's going to look like in a couple of years?
Well, it's interesting you asked that because just a few days ago I was talking to my husband. He's a software consultant and he has a software company. And he's always on the pulse with these things. So we were talking about it and he showed me something similar to that about how AI, am I thinking about the fact that AI eventually is going to try to take the spot? I say try. And my thought on that is that, honestly, I think AI overall in all capacity, in every industry, etc., is going to be it's about catching on to it and allowing it to make you better. So what that means, so for example, what I think, based on what I'm doing, is that I'm already using technology for me to move faster within my customer base, right? So my intent is to use AI to help identify their needs faster. So that's one way of using it. Now, of course, AI can also generate an image. Oh, create me an 18-year-old woman between the ages, blah, 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 that looks like this. Yes, that's obvious. But I feel like from what I've been seeing, and maybe we'll get better from what I'm seeing, I feel like you can tell when it's AI. It's generic. It's a little stiff. And there's limitations. For example, some of them can't even get the hands right, So in my opinion, I think where it's going is that I think it will help us, in the sense that probably when you're creating a storyboard to look for the real characters, you can use it to generate that storyboard to put the likeness of somebody that you'd want. Because I also see, which he was saying as well, that he can see where persons that generate stuff through AI, music, whatever, they're going to eventually have to start licensing that stuff, or actually have to say, hey, this was generated through AI, which now creates a disconnect. Because if I go on and I see everything that you've done is AI generated, I may not connect with it so much. And I work in marketing, providing people for marketing campaigns, and you're trying to connect with the audience. Me, it's not an AI. So when you put an AI up on the screen and tell me it's an AI, I may not connect with it. So I can see the realness of people really standing strong on that, and then AI being more of a supportive feature, basically. So that's where I kind of think it's going, and watching it to see what happens. But of course, there will be people that will use it because it's also may come across cheaper, because if you're a much smaller entity and you don't have a bigger budget for an entire production or even to create social media content per se, I can see AI filling that shoe. So there's a place for everything.
There's a place for it. All right. And I really appreciate that balanced viewpoint, because a lot of us are running around saying, AI going to take our jobs, and it really going to dampen our creativity and our creative skills and whatnot. But there are other ways of looking at it.
And also protecting yourself too, because, register your trademarks and stuff like that, I don't remember the name now, but we have a local thing that registers music and stuff. So I think what you can do on your own part is protect yourself, because eventually we're going to have to monitor the use of AI. And if you're protected and somebody uses your thing, you can get it pulled. It's computer. It's easy to pull it. It's easy to track it. You know what I mean? So that's one, as you say, a different view.
All right, awesome. So next question, is it going to be medium, wide, or close-up?
A close-up shot.
And and she love a close-up too. I can tell, so you take enough selfie.
Actually,
take a selfie. Yes, Shawneil.
I may take a few.
We don't want going on your phone. All right, so here's the close-up question. What led you down this path of, first craft services and then talent management?
Okay, that's a great question. So, as you know, I started at 18. I was in college. So initially, when Zarabelle started, it was with two other founders. And I I don't know. We started, honestly, I knew I always wanted to go into entrepreneurship. I used to do little small things. Like I remember one time I used to use my card to buy things for people online and then pay me. So it was just a matter of where would I fall in entrepreneurship. And I remember I was at a friend's house and she had started a modeling agency with a guy. He was a veteran photographer at the time, but she wasn't enjoying the partnership. And I was encouraging her. I'm like, girl, there's something here. Don't just, you can't just give up. Try harder. And while I was talking about it, her dad heard me encouraging her, and he's like, maybe she should forfeit that and you guys work together. There's a level of familiarity, etc. And that's kind of how Zarabelle was born. And then we had another business partner. And then eventually everybody went different paths. I decided to stay with Zarabelle. One of the founders, she migrated, so it didn't make sense. And then another one, she went into corporate. And then it was just me here. Now, when we started, we were modeling. We might look nice. I don't know nothing about no modeling industry, my love. So I was like, why are we here? We need to do some pivoting. So we started with friends in college. We had like 10 people from college. We had take pictures in the backyard of one of the friends. And like that's where we started. And then as we went along and tried to find, I was in charge of sales and marketing. And we were trying to find our first sales and whatever. We realized what we kept seeing is people asking for people for commercials. And we're like, okay, so we're not going to do this modeling thing. We could just pivot now. And then we landed our first job was actually, coincidentally, was a modeling thing for Wedding Spectacular. I went there. I used to go every single event, girl. Every event. And I went there. I'm like, yeah, mama, I'll model. You can find this girl. She can come right now. I never call the girl, no. But I say yes. I said yes. I said, yeah, man, she'll be here in an hour. And she got there. We did it for free. It was for free. And then after that, after that, I started looking on Facebook and search for people posting about different casting opportunities. And we went on our first set. It was with the production lab, actually, through Tashara. Ooh. And did a good job. And I was very attentive. I, followed up. You have any more work? Whatever. And that's kind of how we started about, doing the best that we could with what we had and just kind of growing out based on the needs of the market and our clientele. So that's really how we started in talent. That was in 2012, and here we are. And then for craft services, funny, craft services now, how we started with craft services. So James Bond was being filmed in Jamaica. I'm being on set a lot, because whenever we bring talent on set, we usually have an agent on set. So that was me for a really long time. So when I'm on set, I'm very helpful. Are you thirsty? Do you need anything? What do you want? I'm always really attentive to people's needs. So when James Bond came about, a lot of people had to migrate to Portland. And that means that Kingston and the regular things that's going on didn't have anybody. So they'll be like, Shawneil, you can do the craft service for me, please? I'll give you the igloo, I'll give you the whatever. And I'm like, sure. So I was PAing, because everybody started as a PA. I was PA for a really long time as well. But PA under the talent department. Anyways, and I'm like, people kept asking me, because I'm seeing me do one, so somebody else asked. So I said, something there, so. So I went downtown. I called my mom. I was like, Mommy, can you follow me downtown to buy? She know everything the downtown. Can you follow me downtown to buy some stuff? So I went downtown. I bought a pan and I filled it with a kettle, and I bought an igloo. I got a table, and I got just like little baskets and little things. I'm start. Never have no tablecloth, no little nothing. But I started, and that's how I started craft services. And then I've just kind of built it out more and more, because honestly, when you go on set, a lot of times you go to the craft table. A lot of times there's no appeal. I eat a little snack and, just take up little chips and, I feel like everything I do.
Stop job work for people craft services.
No, I'm just saying, like, it's a little more effort. You know what I'm saying? Like, if I'm thirsty, I shouldn't have to go to the equipment truck and climb into the equipment truck to get the water. It should be a no-brainer that when you come on set, here is the station for coffee, the thing that keeps everybody going. There's refreshments, there's snacks, there's fruits, there's everything. And everything I do, I try to do it very well. And I try to keep it branded. So like you will know when we're on set. Our tablecloths are always green, which is on brand for Zarabelle. But those little small details has made a difference, because I'm providing a premium service. So I need to come across premium in service as well as in product. So that's kind of how I got started with craft service, and it's been great. I really enjoy doing it. I don't per se go on set myself much anymore, but I do go on set to make sure the quality is maintained and have a team member. And with us, we think like a different, we have our own transport, we have a tent. You know, we think
You
come
guys
out.
are branded well. Nice.
You know what I'm saying?
Awesome.
Yeah.
You kind of lift the level of professionalism.
Yes.
I want to just pick out, like in both your stories about the craft services as well as the talent management, is this idea that you see an opportunity, you look at what's happening in the industry, and you pivot when it's time to pivot.
It's time to pivot.
You know?
That's true.
You're always looking out for the opportunity. And another thing is that this idea, yes, of starting wherever you are. Because sometimes some people are very unsure. They want to come into
Just
the
start.
industry. They're not sure. But look at whatever tools you have in your hand. You know, what you're good at, what people keep asking you to do or whatnot. And maybe that's how you break in. Maybe that's how that's
true.
your shoe in. And like Shawneil, you can do a 120 pivot and you can find your shtick.
Yeah. Exactly.
Awesome.
That's a great way to put it.
Yeah. All right. So one more question. Is it going to be your medium question, or is it going to be, or your medium short question, or is it going to be your wide angle question?
Wide?
Wide.
Yeah,
Boy,
wide.
you couldn't go.
Medium.
No.
Medium.
Yes, yes,
No,
already.
I'm interested in that question now. Medium.
No, it's okay.
120
No,
and pivoting.
we just pivot to the wide shot. There's a lot happening in our industry, locally and globally. And we're still kind of getting our footing and we're still learning. Where do you see the local industry, i.e. the Jamaican film and television industry, in, say, 5 to 7 years?
Can I get the medium shot? Okay. So
You can do it, Shawneil. Persevere.
we gonna get it done. So where I see the industry. So honestly, when I started in 2012, it's a much different industry because now, if I'm being honest, when I started in 2012, I didn't know the industry exists. I mean, you know, things are being created, but I didn't know the industry existed. Like, where do I start? Who do I talk to? I want to be a director. Where do I go? You know what I mean? Other than obviously people always consider Edna, etc. Fast forward now, I will say that there is definitely it feels tangible. The industry feels tangible. It feels like I could leave college, I could leave my 9 to 5 and go into the industry, and I know exactly where to go or who to connect to, where to start. You know, there's a JAFTA now. Not that JAFTA wasn't around, but it's more visible. Things like that. So I would say in the next 5 to 7 years, I'm hoping. I'm really hoping that we have a union for the crew members, for the actors. Why I think we need something like that? Because I think in any space, if you think about America, if you think about the UK, there is representation. There is a sense of unison as well, because if we're coming together, it means that we can lead together rather than picking us apart one by one. So I really hope that, you know, in a few years we have a union, because it's always you're always stronger in numbers, and you need that representation. As a creative, most times you're focused on the creativity and not necessarily the administrative things that you need to consider. You know, I think a union, just like UK, just like America, it has proven to benefit the members, and I mean that in crew, and I mean that in talent as well. And then also in a few years, I would think that we're producing more local content. Recently, I worked on a TV show that I'm very proud of, and it's called Still the Millers. And it's locally produced, well produced, written locally, shot locally. It gives crew members work. It gives Jamaica recognition. That's really where I see us, especially with the film fund right now that's being worked on to be released to the actual industry. I see people taking the lead on that and creating content that we can have our own genre, probably in Netflix. You never know, you know what I'm saying? So that's where I see us going, just being more unified and also being able to support our ideas with funding, because a lot of us have ideas, we just don't have the money to make it, because making a film is very expensive. So, and then also we have to be doing a lot of self-funding, which it can go so far, but not so far. You know what I mean? So so that's where my wide shot goes.
That's lovely. A union would be spectacular in 5 years.
Yeah.
Because we do need that unity, like you said, because unity is there's strength in numbers. All right, so it's time for this episode's F3 challenge. Ready?
Okay.
Are you ready to rumble? I should stop singing.
Wow,
I said that all the
Never
way.
had all of that.
Yes. All right, Shawneil. this is the challenge. It's a time challenge. You have 24 hours to cast for a alcoholic beverage commercial as well as a kids biscuit commercial. Tell us what you would do, how you mobilize your team to get that done in 24 hours. But here's the catch. You have to tell us that in 90 seconds.
Okay.
Can I get a timer on the clock, please?
All right.
And go.
So first of all, alcoholic beverage, usually there's an age limit. So the first thing we do, we get on a call, myself and my team member that's in charge of customer relations. We have the conversation with the client, we figure out the needs. And of course, once that is shortlisted, we send them access to our database to breeze through what needs to happen based on the filters. We can do it over the phone at the same time. So we send them the link, they have access to our database. We're narrowing down based on age group. We're narrowing down on certain things like, okay, this person is in the church, they don't like to do these kind of ads. Once they've narrowed down, my other team member, she reaches out to them, get a short list. We send back and say, okay, all these people are available. Are you interested in who you like, whatever? And then once we connect with them, we now start to make the different mobilization, like creating a WhatsApp group to talk about the details, getting their lunch orders, getting them available, making sure they have transport to get there, basically all the things you need to get them on location. For the kids, it's a little different because most times if it's not on the weekend, they're gonna have school. So the first thing we would have done is blast out an email to our database of the kids range that they've highlighted. Make sure we get a short list and we say, okay, these are the kids that are available because school is tomorrow, let's say it's in the week. We have that quick conversation with the client, we show them, they make a decision, and then from there we now reach out once again to say, hey, your child was shortlisted, are they available? Can they go on set? These are the parameters, which guardian is coming on set. We also have a representative on set to make sure that they're good. And then we do all of those things to make sure all is well.
90 seconds! Oh my God! So anyway, we can really tell that you are superb at what you do because you could have run us through that entire process, literally solve an emergency, and you tell us in 90 seconds. Big up yourself.
Thank you.
Big up yourself.
Thank you so much.
But have you ever gotten that though?
Girl, listen. Please do not request a talent 24 hours before. But yes, we have done that before.
Oh, wow.
And especially we've actually replaced talents on last week. We were doing a commercial and a talent canceled last minute, and we were able to notify the client, figure out the solution, and got the talent on set within an hour. So it happens, not ideal, but we can make it happen.
You and what you're doing at Zarabelle, girl, boss.
Thank you.
Boss. But as Mr. Zarabelle, tell us in 30 seconds, why the name Zarabelle?
I'm asked that all the time, guys. Don't worry, I have no kids named Zarabelle, and my middle name is not Zara. Why it was called Zarabelle is that when we started out in 2012 with the other founders, we were genuinely trying to find a name because we were supposed to be a modeling agency. We almost did a Viva, but then it was too close to Viva Water. And then we thought, okay, Belle is beauty, Zara is warrior. I remember this is modeling stuff. And then we did it, we loved it, worked with it, and then when we pivoted, we just didn't change the name.
Okay.
Because it's pretty.
It is pretty.
What we did, we've just now rebranded it so that it's obvious. Because when we started, we had like this head and photography thing. Then we changed again to 2 Z's. And then when it was just me, I changed it to align with the fact that we're in TV and production.
Yeah. Yes, because I can see like the slate thing in the design of the logo.
Yeah, and the reel.
Yes, and that's clever. Awesome.
Thank you.
So we are about to wrap the show for this episode. And first and foremost, I want to thank you, Shawneil. I know the trek up the hill was not easy. We're not easy to find. So thank you so much.
No problem.
Thank you for the work you're doing with Zarabelle. Thank you for showing, the whole of we and the whole of you guys that you can start where you are, start with what you have, and pivot. Learn how to pivot. Look what's going on in the industry, and just.
Right.
I feel like them should get a song named Pivot. Or a dance. I wonder what that would be like. Pivot. But in saying thank you, we would like to present you with this.
Okay. Look like wine. I like to be drinking. Look nice, man. I like the box.
So the bag is a dead giveaway, but do enjoy. Thank you so.
It's wine, guys, if you're wondering. I'm going to enjoy this. Thank you, guys.
Oh,
I will tell you how to reach me because I know a lot of people are going to say, I want to be a talent. So, Zarabelle is on Instagram. We are on Facebook, but But we're on Instagram, we're on LinkedIn, we're on Twitter, and we also have a website. To reach us on Instagram, it's Zarabelle MGMT. Twitter is the same thing. And also on LinkedIn, it's Zarabelle Limited. And then zarabelleja.com is the website. So yeah, that's how you reach us. And if you'd like to apply, I always say, go to our website or our Instagram, look at us, feel us out, know if you really like what we're doing, and then you can click the link in our bio, and there's an application form there. So that's how you reach us. Oh, and 1-876-335-2401. That's how you get in touch with us. Thank you.
Please get in touch with Zarabelle. Thank you so much, Shawneil. And with that, we wrap F3 Filmmaker Feature Fridays, where we champion the telling of local, authentic Jamaican Caribbean stories that have resonance across the globe. And we create a platform to celebrate our own filmmakers. Thank you guys for watching, for sticking and staying. But yeah, until next time, love you. Bye.
Bye.
Shawneil, your boss.
Thank you.